Hey YouTube, Wes Spencer here. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Look, when you talk with me on Twitter, I do listen. I had this poll that was up and I asked if I should cover the new FEGEX beta, and a whole bunch of you, hundreds of you said, yes, you should do it. I want to see you do it. And so when you talk, I listen. If you're not following me on Twitter, I am just at Wes_Spencer. Easy to find. Make sure you go and follow me there. Okay, so we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the new beta FEGEX. And there's some great things that are inside of it. It's not just the new platform itself with having more access to new FEG ecosystem apps that are out there, or platforms or cryptos that are out there, but it's also some really cool things baked into in terms of liquidity pooling and staking and wrapping that you need to see, because I think it bodes well for the entire ecosystem and really like where FEG is going as a platform. So we're going to cover all this and a whole bunch more coming right up. Hey friends, Wes Spencer here. Thank you guys so much for joining again. Hey, here's what I want you to do. Would you share this video out with some friends? Let them know about it, tweet at them, share it in Telegram, wherever it may be, in Reddit, whatever you need to do, and hit like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. So I don't want to delay us any further. Let's just go and jump into the platform. It's really cool. I'm going to show you how you can get into this. Very simple. I'm going to share my screen out. Here we go. And this is it right here. So it's beta.fegex.com. So if you haven't seen the main site, let me just show it to you so you can kind of see it right quick, so you can see the vast difference. So this is the current FEGEX, right? And it was or FEGEX, however you want to say it. I don't know. I'm saying FEGEX. I just like the Jex part of it, right? And this is pretty cool. It's normal, right? We've seen this for over a year now. There's nothing much to it, right? It's very simple. It doesn't have any charts to it. The liquidity is sort of difficult to understand. Bridging, same thing. It's upgrade in progress, smart tools. There's not a lot to this current iteration. And so the beta is really bringing the entire FEGEX platform into the modern age for crypto. And I'm really excited about where it's going. So one thing that we should probably time out on just for a minute is, let me recap why I like FEG. So FEG is a burn token, right? There's like literally 4 quadrillion that were created on the ETH side, on the Binance side. A lot of people argue with, is it a meme token or a bleep coin? You know what I'm talking about, all those kind of things. And sure, in some cases it absolutely can be. But I think much more important than all of that is the capabilities that it has as a platform to really build a community around it. And so I covered this in the last FEG video that I did. The auto deployer is really pretty neat under the smart DeFi stuff they have going. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you go and watch it. I will put a link in the description down below so you can go find it really easily. But the cool thing about it is it really extends the FEG ecosystem. It makes it very easy for you to create your own token. And that token uses FEG as part of the basis of what it does. And so it causes FEG to additionally be burned. And there's mechanisms that play in between both FEG and the token you've created. And so the auto deployer makes the smart contract for you. It makes it very, very simple. And then it also has a lot of protections built in with it as well that eliminate rug pulls, or at least, as far as I can see, the capabilities of them, it completely eliminates them. And so this is why I'm a really big fan of what FEG is doing. I don't care whether you call it a meme coin or not. I think what it's doing is really, really powerful, because it just gives capabilities to extend its ecosystem and make FEG as the parent to it just even more powerful altogether. So now that I've said all that and kind of recapped that, let's take a look. So we have all our charts here, right? And charts are great, right? Because we can see how this thing has trended over time. We can scroll in and out. We can see how FEG is done over time. And this is not technical analysis. This is not me diving, deep into tokenomics with FEG. But it's taken its licks. It definitely, but it hasn't been like, when you really zoom out, it hasn't been one of those things that just, took off and then just, fell apart completely. It's been steady and consistent. And I really do like that when I look at projects. I am okay to see that. And we do see that it had some huge spikes. This was roughly that time in 2021 when crypto as a whole just completely blew up, and FEG trended with it. Now the market is really going up, just the entire crypto market is really going up over the past week. And we're not seeing FEG trend with that completely quite yet, and that is okay. It doesn't bother me. It's still staying pretty consistent here. It's a small market cap and it's growing, and that's why I'm invested in it. I like seeing this project. I like see where it's going. So I think eventually we'll see this continue to trend upward. But in all things with crypto, probably need to be patient. Now, this new chart does have all your TA tools, your technical analysis tools. Now, you guys know on this channel, I don't really do technical analysis. I'm not going to do price speculation because the truth is no YouTuber actually knows what they're talking about. If you listen to YouTubers, you're going to go broke. Like, they literally don't know what they're talking about. And so I think it's dangerous territory to do all that. I'm not your financial advisor, never will be. This is not financial advice. However, because the TA tools are here, let me kind of show you, if I were a moon pumper YouTuber, like a lot of the ones that are out there, here's how I would use these tools to do it.
Hey guys, welcome back to Wes Spencer's channel. I am the #1 moon pumper on Earth, and I'll literally say anything just to get the next sub so we can get to 1 million subs. I'm going to tell you today why crypto, and especially FEG, is going to be the next crypto that's going to make you a quadrillionaire here in the next 5 days. It's going to actually eclipse Bitcoin. I'm so smart, I'm going to literally show you the technical analysis tools. So here we go, we have the charts up right here, and you can definitely see the Fibonacci fingers that are coming through on the high ends of the candle. If you totally look at the green, you're going to see the spikes happening here. This is clearly a double head and shoulders fashion. This is what I would call actually the boxing crane maneuver that you see definitely here. And as we zoom in right here, you're seeing for sure, let me pull up the next thing that makes me look smart. This little forky thing looks really cool, and I think I'm going to make sure people see the green that's in here. Yeah, there you go. So you can see right there on the upper edges of the echelon that you're really seeing the market start to move forward with the Fibonacci's. And really, it's not just the Fibonacci's that you're seeing, but, you know, if I take another couple lines here, you're going to really be able to see the reverse index patterns that are really showing the trend lines. That really make this definitely something that's there for us to know about. So clearly, because I can draw things on the screen, and I can even do these fancy triangles here, you know that I'm clearly a moon pumper that knows what I'm talking about, and my technical analysis is way better than that other channel you're listening to. So unsub to him, resub to me, so that you can definitely get all of the latest, greatest, amazing things here, because I am a moon pumper that clearly knows what I'm talking about. So you make sure you listen.
All right, so I hope you guys like that. Obviously, I'm never going to be one that's going to do all the TA stuff. So let's move past that. We can see the buys and sells that are happening down here. If we scroll down just a little bit, and you can see, again, it's a pretty active market. We can see the volume that's going on, how much is being traded across the way. I have currently got my MetaMask wallet connected on the Ethereum network, so I'm looking at the ETH side of FEG right now, but you could switch to the Binance side as well. You can see what's trending right now. Now, there's not a lot of cryptos that have been added in yet because we're still beta, but I think as you see more and more of the smart DeFi auto deployer tokens come into the ecosystem where people create their own, you'll probably see some more that are in here. And by the way, I still need to create my own token. I mean, just for the fun of it, right? Let me know in the comments if you want me to use the auto deployer, or tweet at me and say, Wes, I want to see you use auto deployer to create your own token. I do have my own token that I created on the Binance side that it did is like a scam coin to show you how they're made, called Dictator token. So take a look at that one, dictatorcoin.com, if you want to see it. But maybe I should make my own in here as well. I don't think the rest of these, yeah, there's not a lot of data right now in like top gainers. Oh, you can't even see this, by the way, because my screen is my video is over it, but no big deal. This is what I was talking about right over here, the trending top gains. All you can barely see this right here on the edge of the screen, but I'm going to skip by all of that. So we talked about transactions, so you can see what's happening here in the market. You can also see the burns that are happening, right? So it's good to see burns. Now, a lot of these burns are small, right? They're happening consistently, but they happen very small amounts over time. And that's what's neat about the burn mechanisms is, even though there's quadrillions of FEG available, we're going to continue to see that burn and reduce, causing it to be deflationary. And the idea is to see the growth go up over time. And so one of the big questions is, how can we push more and more burn? Well, one of the ways we push more burn is not just people buying and transacting, but also other tokens being used in the ecosystem as well, using FEG burn for them to happen. So a couple other things. Wrapping. So wrapping is pretty important stuff. This is where you take another token and you can wrap into it. And I'm not going to talk a ton about this in this video, but wrapping is really important, especially for bridging. When people want to get their crypto into FEG or out of FEG, wrapping is a good way to do that. We see this, by the way, I'm repping Secret today. If anyone ever wants me to like wear their crypto, make sure you send me like a shirt, right? If I follow the project and I like it, I'm happy to rep it, right? Secret pays me nothing. I just really like the crypto, right? But Secret, as an example, it's fortuitous that I'm wearing their shirt today, right? They have an entire bridge, and so you can wrap in and out of Secret to like move crypto into Secret, out of Secret. Really, really easy ways to do some of that. And so wrapping has a lot to do with that. So you can see we have FEG wrapped ETH and Bitcoin, USDT, USDC, DAI, and whatever UNI is. I'm not sure what that one is. So here's the wrapping they currently have. I think you'll see more and more exist and are created over time. But I think what's even neater is staking pools. So right now we don't, because I think this is beta, there's not a lot of information on staking at this point in time, but we're going to see staking become a really big, important part of the ecosystem. And you might see, maybe there's more data on the Binance side. I'd have to go switch Ethereum networks to see. But I think what's great about staking is you can take your current amount of FEG, you can stake it, and you can grow. This is called DeFi, and I cover this quite a bit on the channel. There's not a lot of data yet on how staking works. And so I want to see, rates come into this. And I want to see a lot of capabilities here in FEG that would be helpful for us to really not just hold our FEG, but want to stake into the ecosystem as well and earn some APY. Now, here's one thing that I'm really excited is the liquidity pools. I think there's a lot of future here, and I've talked to some of the FEG team about some of this, and liquidity pooling is some really cool stuff. I'm currently very busy and doing a lot on the Cosmos side of liquidity pooling, especially on Osmo, and I'm going to show you just a peek of that so you can kind of have an idea of how all that works in the Cosmos ecosystem, and I want to see a lot of that replicated in what Osmosis and Cosmos are doing here in FEGEX, because I think there's some real potential for massive growth. So think about this with me for just a minute. Here's why liquidity pooling is really important. Is one, because the FEG auto deployer makes it easy for anyone to create their own cryptos. And if you want to incentivize people to start using them and get involved in them and earn more, you can use liquidity pooling to cause lots of growth, to cause lots of people to want to add liquidity in and earn back from it. And then what's good for that is that causes the entire FEG ecosystem to grow. It allows for more users to come in. And the high level of liquidity pooling is simply this. And I can't cover all of this in today's video because it'd be too long, but when you're doing decentralized exchanges, the opposite of Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, all the rest of them, the users, because it's decentralized, the users have to provide the liquidity. So why would I as a user want to provide liquidity across a pair between two tokens so people can buy and trade and sell? Well, the only reason I'm going to do that is if I earn benefits out of that. And so that's exactly what liquidity pooling is all about. So you can see here's like the FEG and the FEG ETH liquidity pool. You can see total liquidity is 161,000. So that's how much I think is locked up. The APYs are not published on this yet, again, because I think it's beta. I think it's why. And then you can see how much volume is being traded. So right now there's only 4, and they're tiny. And the reason they're small and tiny is because they're not really used yet. I don't think all of this stuff is live yet. But let me cast a vision for you on where I think this should be going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a new tab, and we're going to go into Osmosis. And Osmosis is really, really cool. They're really pushing the needle on easy use inside the Cosmos ecosystem. We're going to enter the lab, and I want to show you how awesome this is. So I'm not even going to put in my Kepler. You can't even see my Kepler stuff right now on my browser extension, but I don't even need to show it to you. I'm just going to go here into pools. And here's what they're doing, right? So they're incentivizing, and some of them are quite staggering. Let me pick up one that I've been adding into quite a bit of late. I am going to go and find the Juno pools that are here. I may have to scroll down quite a bit to get to it. So here's what's pretty neat about this one. So there's currently 86 million in liquidity. That's a staggering amount of liquidity. So it's a very healthy pool. And you can see it's total, if you were to do 14 bonding days. So when you provide your liquidity, if you do for 14 days, if you try to unbond it, like you try to take your liquidity out of the pool after any amount of time, after a day, after a year, it's going to take you 14 full days for it to totally unbond. And the reason for that is you're getting a higher API, but the 14 days on bonding is sort of like letting the markets know, hey, I'm pulling my position out and I'm not doing it right away. You could do a 1 day unbonding, right? So the second you pull it out, 24 hours later, you have access to it, but you're going to get less out of it. But notice this APR is huge. It's 129%. And this pays out daily, by the way, not at 100, it's 129 for the year. It's annual, but it's paid out in daily increments. It's huge, 129%. Now, why is it so big? It's big because right now it's incentivized. There's a ton of, like the Juno project, it took a bunch of their Juno and they put it into this liquidity pool to incentivize people to add to it and to make the ecosystem healthy and to allow a lot of people to buy into and sell out of it. That's awesome. And so if, over time, this liquidity pool, the value of it will go down. And so it's incentivizing us to get in early, but over time, it's going to go down and down and down and down, right? And that's okay. It'll always be quite high, but it will never be 129% at 14 days. Like if you come back a month later, it's not going to be, it's going to be lower. It's going to be low. It's going to go lower and lower and lower and lower. And so this is what's really neat about the Cosmos ecosystem and and really Osmosis, the trading app itself, the DEX, is it's so awesome. So let's take another one. Let's take a look at a lower APY one. So here's Atom and Iris. I actually don't know much about Iris, but we can see this one's only at 12%, right? So still like way better than like the banking market at like less than 1%, usually like a quarter point. But you can see it's heavily incentivized, right? And so this is what I want to see FEGEX get into, is I want to see something very similar, that they're providing pools that FEG ecosystem projects that come out that are vetted by the FEG team as solid projects get into here, that the FEG team and the team itself, for whatever crypto project that is, incentivizes the pool for a certain amount of time, maybe 6 months, whatever, and publish it directly into the liquidity pools here and allow users to earn significant amounts of APY. I think that would be awesome. Then of course, over time, it goes down and down and down and down as we introduce it in the supply into the market. This is like the opposite of mining. Like with mining, you have to be rich enough to have tons and tons of resources to mine in a proof of work ecosystem. You're competing against everyone. With something like this, getting in early, and the earlier you get in, just by you providing liquidity into the pool, is the way that we introduce, instead of having to mine to earn it, you put liquidity in to earn it. And I think that's a fantastic way to go. And it's not perfect, but it's far fairer than the proof of work ecosystem. So I want to see this take off. And FEG is perfectly positioned to do this simply because of the auto deployer, the ease to bring new projects into it, and then the projects themselves incentivizing the rest of the world by entering in their crypto into the liquidity pools to help them grow. I am very excited about that. And FEG team, if you're watching me, let's make one together. I'd be happy to be one of the very first ones to do this, and would be happy to work with you guys to get my crypto directly into a liquidity pool and then produce some videos around it so people can see how awesome it is. And then hopefully I'd love to see people actually start jumping in and providing liquidity themselves. And I want to give a ton of my crypto away so people can all have it. It'd be super fun. I would love to do something like that. Now, a couple other things that are here. This is the rest of the market. This is like the default that you see. So this button here is for the markets. And then of course, who would want light mode, right? I love that it's default into dark mode, because dark mode is always the best. And so there you go. That is a full tour through the new beta FEGEX. I'm definitely excited about staking, but I'm super duper excited about seeing all the stuff around liquidity pooling. Now, I'd love to see some kind of DAO form out of all of this. And I'd love to be able to see FEG holders be able to vote on changes to FEG, like, you know, if there's community input on how much should we burn, or should we burn for this, or should we adapt and allow in XYZ project into the liquidity pools. I'd love to see a DAO spin up, and that you actually use your own FEG to be able to vote on certain things that the community wants to see. So I don't see that in FEGEX at all. I don't see any voting mechanism. Maybe that exists somewhere else in the FEG ecosystem. But that was one of the things that I didn't see in it that I'd love to see. But overall, I think the new beta FEGEX is awesome. And I think coupled, like I said before, with all of the new things that Smart DeFi and the auto deployer are doing, which I covered on a previous video, I think it's going to make this a very robust ecosystem. I think it's going to cause a lot of growth, and it's going to be the central hub of a community of FEG family cryptos and projects that only are going to do well over time. So I'm very, very excited about it. I'd love to know what you guys think. What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? Thoughts, comments, leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And if you've been here this long, would you hit like and subscribe? My gosh, it goes a really long way. And I'd love for you to do that because it really helps this channel grow. All right, guys, thank you so very much.